Origin of the Palestinian people. The early inhabitants of Palestine. According to the report of the League of Nations Commission published in 1930, Palestine was originally inhabited by Semitic peoples, with the earliest being the Canaanites. According to tradition, Abraham's Jewish and Arab ancestors came from Ur to Canaan. When the tribes of Israel came to Palestine after being captured in Egypt, they were united into one kingdom by King David in 1000 BC. The kingdom reached its peak under the leadership of his son Solomon, who built the first Jerusalem temple on Mount Moriah. However, after Solomon's death, the history of the nation of Israel, or rather the two kingdoms of Israel and Judah, became a period of civil wars and infighting with foreign tribes. Around 720 BC, the Assyrians destroyed the kingdom of Israel and took its inhabitants captive. Around 600 BC, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar attacked the kingdom of Judah, destroying Jerusalem and the Temple of Solomon in 567 BC. Most of its inhabitants were taken prisoner. 50 years later, when King Cyrus of Persia conquered Babylon, the Jews were able to return to Palestine. Around 515 BC, they had rebuilt the Temple of Solomon. In 332 BC, the Jews came under the domination of the Macedonians. Around 170 BC, the Jewish revolt was quelled, and the Second Temple was destroyed. After Macedonian rule, there was a period of independence to some extent. This lasted until the Roman conquest by Pompey, who entered Jerusalem in 63 BC. In 70 CE, Titus destroyed the city. All that remained of the Second Temple was the Western Wall, which became known as the Wailing Wall. Spread of the Jews. In the early 2nd century CE, Emperor Hadrian forbade Jews from entering Jerusalem. It was from this period that the spread of the Jewish people throughout the world took place. From then on, until the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, no Jewish government existed in Palestine. Although some Jews always lived in Palestine, their number fluctuated depending on the tolerance of the next ruler. After the division of the Roman Empire in 400 AD, Palestine was under Byzantine rule until the Arab conquest in 637 AD. In the then deserted Temple of Solomon, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock were built and called Haram el-Sharif. After a pause in the Crusades, from 1099 to 1190, Saladin, the Arab ruler, invited the Jews to return to Palestine. In 1517, the Turks conquered the country and ruled it until the end of the First World War. At the end of 1917, British troops occupied Palestine. Except during the interregnum of the Crusaders, Palestine was ruled by Arabs and then by Turks for more than 1,300 years after the Byzantine era. The Palestinian population is predominantly Semitic Arabs, both Islamic and Christian. There are also a small number of Semitic Jews. Both the Arab states and Ottoman Turkey granted Jews the right to continue to worship and maintain Jewish spiritual ties with Palestine. During the 19th century, the Ottomans allowed small settlements for Jewish immigrants from European countries where anti-Jewish discrimination was increasing. At the time of the British occupation in 1917, Jews numbered less than a tenth of the population of Palestine. 9/10 are Arabs, both Muslims, 80%, and Christians, 10%. Palestinian traditions, customs and Arabic constitute the main culture of Palestine. The main issue of the I. In the 1920s and 1930s, the situation in Palestine changed. Quoted from the book The Palestinian People by Baruch Kimmeling by Joel S. Migdal, the plans of the Jews are more ambitious than ever. In talks with Arab political leaders, the Zionists publicly expressed their hope of bringing 4 to 5 million Jews to Palestine. The concerns raised by these statements remained the motivation behind the Arab political agenda until 1948. Since World War I, one of the major political issues in Palestine has been whether Jews will have unlimited immigration and unrestricted land purchases. Canaanite Palestinians. Based on the book History and Virtues of Al-Aqsa Mosque and Al-Quds written by Mahdi Saint Rezq Karasim, the Canaanite Palestinians are experts in the field of industry and trade. He often travels to Europe and Morocco. It was these people who went to Greece, Spain, Morocco, Algeria and Tunisia. In these places they built centers of trade, civilization and culture. It is mentioned that it was not the Palestinians who came from Greece and from the Aegean Sea or from the island of Crete, but the opposite. It is said in this book, in the books of Greek historians today, it is described that in Greece were found the Palestinians, who came from Canaan in 1500 BC. They lived in Greece and the island of Crete, then returned to their hometown. They left and returned because of their profession as traders. It is also explained that their designation as Palestinians has existed since 2000 BC. According to the historical version of this book, the Jewish people were cut off from Palestine for 1800 years, from 135 BC to 1918 AD. Today's Palestinians are descendants of the old Canaanites.